Hey everyone, welcome to our 5th podcast episode of From Boots to Brass, all about the job. I'm City Northport Fire Chief Scott Titus, and I've had the honor and pleasure of interviewing thousands of firefighters and fire officers during my career. And I always ask, what's your story and how did you get in the fire service? Through those conversations, I've learned everyone has a story from where they started to what drives them, and even the impactful moments that made it all worth it. In each episode, I'll sit down with members of our crew, swap stories about the job, and talk about what it really means to serve our community. I'm glad you're with us. Let's jump in. Today's special guests, Firefighter Paramedic Anthony Sardina.
How you doing, Chief?
I'm great. How are you?
Couldn't be better.
Fantastic. I just got my hug, so
Yes.
I said I was going to talk about it a little bit. So people can't see you, so we're going to do a little description. Anthony is a giant of a man. So how tall are you?
6'7".
6'7".
Yeah.
All right. You used to be a football player, right?
Yes.
We can
Dabbled in some sports.
Okay.
I'm well over 300 pounds.
Okay. You carry it well.
I'm long, but yeah, big guy. Did the whole sports thing, and now I'm the friendly teddy bear at the firehouse.
Yeah, and so I'm not a small guy. So anybody that doesn't know me, I'm 6'1". I'm a little smaller than I was. I've lost a little bit of weight, which I needed to do. But even at my size, and even at my largest, which was pretty heavy, Anthony can pick me up and cradle me like a baby in his arms. And I know that sounds really weird, but honestly, it's probably the only better feeling that is when you're a baby and your mom is carrying you. Because so if you're having a bad day and you go get a hug from Anthony, like every day I come and hug you, right?
This is true. Every day you get your hug and
I do.
put you in a better mood.
Yeah, it does. And I'm sure family, same way. I don't know if anybody else in the fire service had you treat them like that. 'Cause it started as a joke. I don't
think they like it. They get it.
That's because you hold on sometimes a little bit too long.
Yeah, they get it whether they want it or not. But I mean, that's kind of what's fun about it.
I think one of the jokes for how that started was, well, you just hold somebody until it starts getting awkward.
Yeah.
And then Anthony's idea is then I just hold them for a little bit longer.
Yeah, you bring them past their line.
Yeah.
You got to make them uncomfortable to be comfortable.
But I've known your dad and your family for a long time, so when you hold me a little bit longer, I just feel like I'm still comfy. I'm good. Yeah.
You're at home.
Yeah. All right. So I give everybody the opportunity when they come on, give a shout out. So I know you had a station and crew assignment right now. Right now we joke with you and we say it's D shift. So
Yeah.
Anthony's joining us in administration for a little while and helping us out. So, but you can give a shout out to crew online. You probably should say something to the admin because I know they expect a little bit too, but I'll give you a moment if you want to shout out to anybody.
Yeah. Shout out to admin, big time. The women that I work with, Chief Hurley, they're phenomenal. They make my days go by a little bit easier.
I can't wait to tell Chief Hurley you called him a woman.
The women and Chief Hurley.
Oh, okay.
He's in there.
Okay.
Also, a shout out to my former crew, Lieutenant Giuliano. I haven't really got to work with them much. I've been on light duty for the last a little bit over a year now.
Okay.
But like I said, admin has been phenomenal. They make my days go by faster, easier. I'm learning a ton, to say the least.
You've made our life easier too, honestly. Of course, we never love to have anybody on light duty with an injury or anything going on, but you've been a phenomenal helping out anything where it's needed and answering questions internally, externally, picking up some other stuff. And so it's hugely appreciated. So
I appreciate that. There's a lot more to the fire service than what us blue shirts see. Being an admin has opened my eyes to everything. I'm learning the billing side of things, records, all that stuff. And, when I'm out there running calls, you never think about what makes us run calls, what makes our lives easier. And I've learned all of that being an admin, and it's definitely a learning curve, but a great one. And I couldn't say thank you enough to everyone that's taught me.
Absolutely. So one of the blessings of that is that is our job. Our job is to provide the things for what everybody needs online to serve the community for any emergency that arises, right?
Right.
And somewhat to have a little bit of, for that not to necessarily be absolutely noticed by you guys. It shouldn't be, because sometimes then it becomes painful, right?
Yeah.
So make sure that stuff is there and it's something that's expected and it's kind of a smooth operation. But the downside or the difficult side of that is when somebody does come up front, either through promotion or like yourself, light duty, yeah, it kind of slaps you in the face a little bit. Like, ooh, there's a lot going on that I had no idea they even do.
It's a healthy divide.
Yeah.
I'd say that. Just like you said, there's things that we shouldn't have to worry about. I've learned that there is a lot of things that help us day to day. It's a very healthy divide that we have, very healthy relationship. It definitely makes the line job a lot easier.
I think we're working on some things now too to try and close that gap a little bit. So there's a little bit more awareness, not to make it more cumbersome, but so that it's not so surprising. It's part of kind of our succession plan and creating different pathways for people to go into different projects. I think the company officer development program that recently that Chief Lane and all the district chiefs put on and developed helps with that. And we're working on a program right now, which is kind of the next level above that. So which is kind of, it's a little bit higher level. So for district chiefs that are, exposing them to more of some of the administrative duties to narrow that gap a little bit.
Absolutely.
But you're right. I very, very specifically remember, and I tell people this, I've said it I don't know how many times in my career, when I was a firefighter and even at the lieutenant level when I was working out of a station as a station officer, you could not possibly have convinced me what anybody was doing in admin. I thought to myself, like, what do they do all day long? Like they just up there,
Absolutely.
shooting the breeze, playing tiddlywinks, how are they? They're not busy. They're not, right? And
Wrong.
Obviously, I've been an admin a long time now, and it never stops.
Yeah,
right?
It does not stop.
Yeah,
it's
crazy. But it's part of the good challenge. And honestly, going from emergencies, taking that call, running out the door, I missed that. I'd still rather kick doors in and go fight fire and run medical calls.
Oh, we all would. I'm itching right now.
Absolutely. But that time has passed for me, so it's kind of scratching a different itch. So I'm still trying to handle all those things so that you guys can do that. And so that's a challenge for me. I get enjoyment out of making sure that we have the things that we need so you guys can be successful.
You do it well.
Well, I appreciate it. I have a great team. So not just a me thing. So, and you are part of that team, which is why we like having you in admin. And I think my blood pressure has gone down since you've been in admin because I do get that hug.
I get to pick on you guys a little bit.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the Anthony Sardina bio. So family, all that stuff, what you want to share with us.
All right. So born and raised locally out of Englewood, Florida.
Okay.
Spent my life being on the water, fishing, diving, surfing, all that fun stuff.
Is this where I interject and give you a hard time? Because I know you say you're a big fisherman. I've gone fishing with you once. What did we catch? Nothing.
Well, I think you were the problem. So
this is what you tell me. I was bad luck that day.
Yeah, no one else has had that experience, but
weird.
I think
weird.
That's probably why you haven't been back out.
Okay. All right. Well played.
Yeah, fishing's been my life. I've grown up with, my younger sister, Caitlin, my older sister, Stephanie, my two parents, Al and Kathy. Dabbled in baseball for a while. Then I ended up going to college with football. Left college and became a fireman. My dad...
Were you a catcher in baseball?
No, pitcher only.
Oh, okay. I was being serious. I just figured
it's actually pitcher only.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
That was a thing. They didn't want me running a lot. I don't know if you could tell why, but
okay.
Ended up being a fireman. I kind of took the reins from my dad. He was with the Englewood Fire Department for 30 years. Ended up retiring. So I grew up in the fire service. I got to see everything that was amazing about this job. My father was good at keeping the tough spots hidden. So I never got to see the hardest part of the job. He was always coming home and, I was always jealous. He got to do some really cool things. I can remember times where I grew up taking food to scenes, big fires, and they happened to be here in Northport. My mom ran food over to the scene to help the guys. And I ended up wanting to do that. I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. The brotherhood is something special to be a part of. I spent a lot of my life with his A-shift crews, a lot. They were my uncles, still are. So went through that, fire school EMT, ended up getting on with Nokomis. A lot of people around here know about Nokomis. Phenomenal little department. Met some really good guys, some of my best friends still to this day. Heard nothing but great things about Northport.
In case people haven't tuned in before, Nokomis Fire Department is one of the only area fire departments all volunteers. So that's where you got your start.
Yep.
That's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Made some incredible memories there. Everyone asks why I never pursued Englewood. I kind of wanted to make my own road, you know. I wanted to pave my own road. So Northport was up and coming. It was growing. It was phenomenal training. I just heard nothing but great things. Ray Coyle, he was one of my mentors at Nokomis. And I ended up putting in for the position. I ended up putting in for a paramedic position. I think I called you quite a few times.
I remember, yeah.
I was only an EMT, but I didn't care. I was putting my app in, paramedic or not. I was trying to get on this department, and I bothered Chief Titus quite a few times about that, and I got that call, and that call was the best call I've ever got in my life. And here we are today. I've been here for almost 11 years now, and it has been one of the best journeys I could ever imagine. Made some of my best friends, best memories. There's something about this department that I don't think you could find anywhere else. And everyone can say that about their own department, but that comes straight from the bottom of my heart. Like, this department is one of the most incredible places that I've had the opportunity to be at.
That's awesome. That means a lot. You know, I absolutely feel the same way. And I think that that is something special that I think that we have. Before we go down that road too much further, I want to back up because you talked about mom, dad, talked about sports a little bit.
The most important.
Let's get back.
I was going there and then I got sidetracked.
Mm-hmm. This is why I'm here. I'm here to save you from yourself.
I met my beautiful wife. Alicia is her name.
Yes.
We have been together for 9 years, married happily with 2 young kids. My beautiful daughter, Everly, she is about to turn 6 this month.
Gosh.
Yeah.
She was just a baby.
Flies, yeah.
I know.
Braxton, he's Bam Bam from the Flintstones.
I was just going to say, you know what I called him the other day, right?
Yes. He is our little Tasmanian devil. He's 2. He'll be 3 in August.
And he's almost 6 foot, 200 pounds.
He is a moose.
Yeah, no, he's big boy.
Very tough.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's a good thing for my daughter. I think it's a great thing. She is tougher than most, and those 2 go at it every day, in and out, just tackling each other, playing rough. So I'm trying to divide the little girl and little boy.
You know what? So what's going to happen? So they'll do that for a while.
Yeah.
They'll get to the point where, okay, then outside influences start happening. They start going to school. He's a little bit behind her, and when somebody doesn't treat her well, he can pick on her. But if anybody else does, I feel really bad for the person that decides to do that, either in front of you or him, but particularly, in the school environment. You're not going to be there, but I promise he's going to take care of her.
Well, they get it from their mom too. She's I don't mess with her. You know her. She's tough.
Yeah, your wife is sweet, beautiful, amazing. There is a little bit of a difference in height between you guys. Yeah. So you want to talk about that?
She'll kill me if I don't give her the proper height. I want to say 5.
You don't have to.
3.
So I don't want to put you. So she's visibly shorter than you.
Oh yeah.
But she is a formidable.
Yeah. She's
in an awesome way.
Yeah.
Woman. Yeah.
She's amazing. She has been through some of the toughest times of my life. She has gotten me out of those times. She still does. Every day she is the person I go to for the answers I don't have. So yeah,
that's cool.
I'm lucky. I'm a very lucky guy.
I love to hear that. We were actually talking earlier, and one of the things, how important it is in this job to have that support system, because we really do sacrifice a lot of time.
You have to.
From family. And that sacrifice comes at an expense to our spouses and our kids, and they're picking up a lot of slack for us when we're not around.
Yeah, I don't think I realized that until we had kids. I didn't realize just what they endured while we were away, right?
Yeah.
Having kids, she was home alone with the babies, and she still is. But your spouse is a very big key component to a successful career, a healthy career.
Absolutely.
You have to have a good partner.
Yeah, that's cool. And you definitely do. I know your wife well and been around her a lot, and she's amazing. So you guys are involved in pretty much everything we do, which is cool. That was one of the other things I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about. So a little bit about hobbies and things that you're involved with. So one of the things that you put on here was not fire department related, but it's something that you like to do, not fishing.
There's so many things. I mean, we can talk
You're
about
a very
Christmas.
specialist at making something.
Well, we have to give kudos to Mike Roman. we're talking about the chili cook-off, right?
Well, I was going to go there too. So let's talk
Okay.
about the chili cook-off, then we'll come back to this. But chili cook-off, amazing. You're always involved.
Yep. Every year since I've been here, I got brought on by Mike Roman to help out the team, and we've been having a blast ever since. Every year we're part of that. There's a few other extracurriculars that I'm part of. We did the pumpkin patch.
Let's hear some of the painted chili cook-off though first. How much chili do you guys make?
Roughly 25 gallons. Between 20 and 25 gallons we'll make.
And I don't think the average person knows, like, it's hard enough to make really good chili, but to make 25 gallons of it is impressive.
Yeah, it's a process. It is quite the process, to say the least. We're cooking the entire full day before the contest, having to cool it down and prep everything. It's definitely a process, but it pays off in the end. We have a great time out there. It's for a good cause. Yeah. It's one thing that the entire department looks forward to every year. So
absolutely. And there's a little science to it. And you guys don't always do the same recipe.
No,
we've experimented different stuff, and how many times? We've won a fair number of times.
Yeah, good handful of times. We always tweak it. It's been the same base recipe since I've been here, but we've always tried, a little bit more of this, a little less of that. Let's add this. And, it's always something different.
We've done different meats, right? We've done some brisket.
Yeah, we've done briskets and, all sorts of cuts of meat, but
it's always so good.
Yeah, it turns out pretty well.
It is. All right. So what other stuff are you involved with?
We've done the pumpkin patch. We didn't get to do it this past year because of 81 being under construction. I plan on bringing that back. The parade, poinsettia parade's always pretty special.
What's the pumpkin patch for those that don't know?
So the pumpkin patch is a small event that we host. We have all sizes of the pumpkins. It's to support our benevolent fund. Kind of brings the community together, lets kids come out, take some pictures with the firefighters, the trucks, and we sell our pumpkins. It's
super cheap, I think.
Yeah, I think it was $7 for a large and $5 for a small or something like that.
Yeah, but
it's definitely something that we do for our community. We want to bring people together. It's holiday season, Halloween kind of kicks that off.
Yeah.
So, and then the city has the trick-or-treating event. So we kind of do that in conjunction with that. So we'll do it the weekend before and the weekend of, and we typically sell out before the trick-or-treat event, which, maybe I should do a better job of ordering more pumpkins.
I think it works out well. And you guys do a great job setting up a little display so people can come and take pictures, get pumpkins, kids can play. You guys we have blow-ups out there and stuff like that.
It's always a good time.
There's usually, anytime it's open, there's fire department people there, and most likely some of our kids are there hanging out or doing something. Mine not anymore. Mine are grown and out mostly, but all right. So now your favorite holiday?
It's Christmas. Everybody
should know that Anthony sends me emails all the time, and then on his Facebook page tells me it typically starts around January 3rd how many days there is till Christmas.
Yeah, actually yesterday it was like 220 something, I believe. I looked at the countdown. Yeah. Alicia actually rolled her eyes at me. I brought that up last night. But yeah, poinsettia parade's always something that's fun for us. We do our float. We have Santa on the truck, so it's always fun to come out there. And typically I'm part of putting that float together. The most memorable one that we did was the Grinch. I actually went in full makeup and costume.
And you looked like the Grinch. I mean,
I
like
had
it was
the prosthetics
legit.
face on. It was glued on. It took my sister about 4 hours to do the full makeup, but she did a phenomenal job.
She did.
I don't know if I can do that again. That was rough.
The kids that are scared of the Grinch were scared of you. Kids that love the Grinch loved you. Like you looked like
it was fun.
Grinch. It was awesome.
It was fun.
And then the year before that, what did you wear?
Oh yeah, elf. Yeah,
So
it was quite the elf.
For those of you, we talked earlier about Anthony. He's a large man, and he wore tights and an elf costume.
Yeah, bright yellow. Yeah, highlighter yellow.
Coolest looking elf I ever saw. And I believe you picked me up that day and gave me help me. Yeah, it's nice.
It was definitely something to see, but I won't be doing that again.
Listen, it was loud and proud. It was good. And so,
holiday spirit.
Not only did you do the Grinch, but you actually, you had a big part of put the float together and make it a chimney and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Had help from Rod. He helped build that chimney up, and it's, we always try to come up with different ideas. I think we did, one of the years was the,
it's a kids thing. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, one of the years we did a float with nothing but the dogs from an animal rescue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They had the puppies out there, and I forget the other years past, but it's
I'm going
always
to be
been
honest,
something
now
fun.
that it's gotten, some of those dogs were...
There was one special dog on that float that turned some heads.
I feel like that dog probably was not getting adopted. So it was...
Poor thing, but yeah, he's there. He was kicking.
But yeah, it was a good time. But you've been not just a part, but you've been an integral part in driving a lot of these things for a lot of years, which is really cool. So you've been like super involved in a big part of that. And I think I know it goes without saying, but it needs to be said is we appreciate that. And it's always, somebody always steps up for different things we have in the department at different times. And you've been a big part of stepping up for some of those programs and things. And it's always great to see you at those events and get involved. And so it's cool. So the other thing that I was talking about that you're also very talented at is making cakes.
Oh, yeah. That was a past hobby of mine. I don't really do much of them anymore, except my daughter asked me to make hers this year, so I'm kind of pulled into that one. But yeah, I did a lot of custom cakes, birthdays, weddings. I was probably the largest baker you've ever seen, but I got it done. It was fun. I just can't do it anymore that easy because of the kids. Braxton wants to touch everything.
And these weren't like, when you say, like these were custom cakes. Like if you look
large
online
cakes.
at like any kind of professional cake that you could have made anywhere of a cake that looks like something else, this is like what you did. You did some, I've seen some of the cakes you did. You did some amazing cakes.
Yeah, it was fun. It kept me busy.
I actually thought the first one I saw, I thought you were messing with me. Like you said, I made that. And I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, I did it. It was fun. It was an interesting hobby, to say the least.
All right. So tell us, Everly and Braxton, let's get back to what are they doing these days? Sports? Anything?
So Everly is taking after Mama. She's doing gymnastics.
Okay.
She is doing a great job. She's obsessed with it. If there's something to flip off of or flip onto, she's doing it.
Cool.
That's every piece of furniture in our house. She does flips on, cartwheels, you name it. She's in the air. Braxton, I think he thinks that he can do anything, which is sometimes dangerous. He's already broken a TV by throwing a ball at it.
Okay.
So he's launching things across the house currently. So we're trying to teach him that not to throw at.
He's training to be a pitcher like his dad.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes in the next couple of years, but hopefully T-ball comes up.
Okay. All right. So you talked a little bit about how you got in the fire service. I want to go back and talk a little bit. So being around Englewood, all those guys, let's give your dad a little bit of props. So your dad didn't just retire from Englewood Fire Department, but Alvaro Sardina, battalion chief, retired, right? So he retired as battalion chief. And do you remember his last day, his last shift?
Yeah. Actually, Chief Titus brought me to Station 71. They were having a Cuban cookout. They had a La Caja China, and they were cooking a full pig over there. Actually, he wanted to do that for his last shift. He promised his guys. So Chief Titus found me on duty. I was on duty that day, actually, and he said,
"Hey, we're me." You can say you. It's me. Yeah. But you were on duty, right?
Yeah, I was
and
on
I heard
duty.
about it. I'm like, well, so we arranged to make sure we had coverage, and I picked you up your station and said, obviously we're going. It's your dad's retirement, right?
Yep. You pulled me off the truck, and we went down there, and I got to spend his last couple hours on duty with him. It was pretty special.
That was pretty cool. It was cool to see that they did that for him, and just that by happenstance it worked out to be on a day that you were on shift and I could grab you and go. So
yeah, I appreciate that. That was special.
It was special for me too. Something I will always remember. Yeah, it was good. And I remember when you got hired, I called your dad too, because I take it, all of our generational guys who have dads in the fire service or they've been in the area, I take that very seriously when we bring you guys on and calling your dad and making sure and that we've got his blessing to take you on and look after you, and we take that very seriously. So it's cool, and I like the fact that you said about even being around Englewood, but wanting to come and kind of start something else. And when I was talking to Matt Johnson on one of the podcasts, he kind of had the same thing, and I said, it's a testament to your family because your dad's legacy is in Englewood, and you carry that legacy of your dad in Englewood and now legacy here. So it's really just broadened his impact and your family name. And that's pretty awesome. It's very respectable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. It honors what he did well and what you do well too, because obviously you've been just a great addition to have.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that kind of answers how you got in the fire service. You didn't end up being, thankfully he didn't drop you when you were little. You didn't become a police officer, so you stayed the line. You were able to pass the test and you got in the fire service.
I did.
All right. And so when you got hired on, you said earlier you got hired as a firefighter EMT.
Yep.
Even though you applied as a medic.
Yeah.
And I said, it's a medic position. I can't hire you. So you came back. We hired you as a firefighter EMT, but you're a medic now. How did that happen?
Yeah. I ended up going through paramedic school through the department. I think I had 5 or 6 years on. Right during COVID, I went to school with Matt Pettit and Julie Goad, and we had quite the time in medic school. Ended up passing, did everything well. Probably one of the toughest things that I've put myself through as far as educationally. And COVID didn't make it much easier. Our class got extended. We were dealing, with the new rules and everything, the changes that were happening in the hospitals. We were doing our clinicals, trying to make, get our requirements finished and completed. But, COVID kind of put a damper on that for a little while. So we got released as medics once we passed our national. And the rest is history with that. Ended up getting all my technical rescue certifications completed. So I've been a part of the team.
What's your favorite discipline in tech rescue?
You're going to laugh.
If you say confined space, I am going to laugh.
That is my favorite. That extrication. Confined space. I love it.
Okay.
Chief Dawson actually bet that I couldn't fit through the 18-inch pipe. I couldn't with the gear on, but without the gear, I can get through.
And then the cool thing was it was really clean for the next guy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm like a pipe cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked confined space too. I actually, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I want to do it now. I mean, I could if I had to, but.
Well, if you have to, I know you'll do it.
Now we have other areas that there's obviously not everybody has to go in the pipes. There's other jobs and things that we can do to make sure.
I'm not hanging off of a radio tower. They're never going to put me on the side of a building. So keep me on the ground, underground.
I kind of like that stuff. My son sent me a picture the other day. He was doing training downtown Sarasota. Hanging from a crane.
I saw that. That's insane.
One of the videos, so I could see him. He's doing a pickoff, and as he's riding, actually he was tending the basket, and as he's riding down, you can see in the background, it's like down 200 feet. You see the buildings, the background, all this other stuff, and he makes a comment, and he goes, "I don't know why anybody do an office job." Like I was like, man, they should put that on their advertisement for the county. Like
they should. Yeah. I saw that training. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, and we're actually going to see if we can do some stuff down here when SMH Northport gets a little bit.
Nice.
A little bit more vertical, work with the cranes there and do some similar stuff. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. So, back to anything else you want to cover? Nokomis coming through, anything like that?
Through Nokomis was actually pretty challenging. I had some mentors there that, are career firefighters today. Like I said, I had Ray Coyle, incredible teacher, incredible fireman. Victor Krasinski, one of my best friends, he was in my wedding. He mentored me through it all. He's quite the fireman. He's down in Charleston, South Carolina now on a heavy. So I had Sean Connor, Kyle Kajanowski, all of them, those names that we hear. Yep. I got to be a brand new guy under.
I think Cozy's out in Seattle now, right?
Yeah, he took off. Yeah, he's doing bigger, better things, which is awesome for him.
North Charleston?
I don't know specifically which part. I think he's right downtown, I would think. Okay. Jeff Mendel, he's with Charlotte County. We have Ray Coyle here. All those guys were incredible mentors to me. They taught me the history and the purpose of us being firemen.
It's a cool shout out to Ray as well. For those people that don't know Ray is like a walking encyclopedia.
He is the Rain Man of the fire service.
If you ask him a question, he can tell you, and it's usually very technical.
I'll never forget. He told me there were numbers on the water tank of the truck.
Yeah.
And he specified what the last 4 digits meant. And I go, Ray, why do you know this? Yeah. He goes, I don't know. I read it somewhere and I've just held on to it.
He could tell you the pounds per square inch of every spreader, cutter, pressure. Yeah. Great. He's awesome. Ray's super great fire officer, great fireman, great trainer. Yeah. He mentored and trained a lot of people coming through Nokomis and here in our organization too. So we are happy to have him. So I know this is different. You can talk about now, or you can talk about when you were online, or the both, but just in general, what drives you every day? What's your passion?
Today, what drives me is my kids. If you would have asked me that 10 years ago, I would say fire, right? That adrenaline rush of doing what we're supposed to do. The brothers of our service is what drives me and my family. But today is my kids. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have my kids and my wife. But when we look at the line and, running those calls, the biggest thing is the adrenaline rush kind of wakes me up. It gives me this warm, fuzzy feeling that I'm doing something better. I'm bettering somebody else's life, hopefully. But yeah, one answer is going to be my kids.
That's awesome. As it should be. I remember a day that my wife came and visited me, and she brought the kids. We did a training burn at Nokomis, and I thought it'd be so cool to have them come down and do lunch. And we actually knocked a hole. So we had it was an acquired structure. And we knocked a hole in the block wall at the end of the building so they could see into the building and see the fires that developed and us doing things. And it was pretty cool for them. And at the end of the day, she left. Everybody's happy, great time, stuff like that. And I went home, and she was kind of quiet, not really happy. I'm like, what's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. And this went on for a little while. And honey, don't shoot me if I'm saying this, and I shouldn't. But she says to me, she goes, well, I figured something out today. She said, you love those guys in the fire department way more than you love us. I said, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. You know how I feel about my family.
Yeah. They're number one.
They are incredible. She said, I've never seen you so happy. I said, I'm happy with you. She goes, not like that. And it's different, right? I'm not any happier doing that, but we get a little bit of that adrenaline surge, and it's that stuff,
it's exciting to do.
Yeah.
It's exciting to do this job with guys, women and men that we call our family. Like, I look to my partner, and we're about to walk into a fire, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty awesome feeling, running up on scene and knowing that we're there to make a difference. That's a pretty special feeling that not a lot of people get to experience in their life.
And some people don't, the challenge now, and especially with cameras everywhere and things like that,
Yeah.
that is what we enjoy doing, but it's not for, sometimes that can be misportrayed. I've come out of structure fire. I remember one of the first structure fires I came out of, and I'm hooting and hollering and
a high five.
I'm giving a high five and hugging my partner when I come out. And I remember Chief Flame came up to me and he goes, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, what? And he's family's right over there. And it was so impactful to me because, of course, it's somebody's worst day, but we just challenged the beast and we won. And so it's what we do. It's what we thrive off of, but it doesn't take away from, obviously, that compassion of knowing these are people's stuff. And since then, I've been very, very conscious of trying to make sure that we, balance that and spend, some focus on that energy on making sure that those people understand that, we're here for you and not outwardly expressing that. But it is a feeling that we have when we do that stuff. And it is a good feeling, like you said, to go and help somebody, to get them, bring somebody back and get ROSC or get them cut out of a car. Like that's why we do this, right?
And it's the most minuscule things that will change somebody's day, year, whatever it may be. It's the smallest things that mean the most. And just being able, I recall fixing an ice maker in a patient's house. That meant the world to her. It's like that little thing where we look at outside of the fire service, you're like, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. That just completely changed her whole month. Little things like saving a picture in a fire, those things mean the most. And I'm sure other departments, but specifically us that we're talking about, are very, very proactive and good about preserving things and going that extra mile just to help out.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. It's hard to catch yourself at the door sometimes when your adrenaline's going, and you want to give your partner a high five for getting out of there safe.
Absolutely. Well, I love to hear you say about fixing the ice maker, and I think we've, as a philosophy, as an organization, we've empowered everybody to we're there to help. It's sometimes it's you called us for this, but can you change my light bulb, or can you change the batteries in the smoke detector, or whatever? And I think our people go. I mean, I could go back and just tell story after story after story of the calls that I've gotten from the community and from citizens of just stuff that blows my mind that our people have done, and it makes me so proud of you all, the things that you do. And there's a billion more things that you all do and have done and that we have all done that that I didn't hear about, right? Like that, 'cause I know that's going on all the time.
It's a pride.
It
It's a pride of what we do. We take pride in it. So
That's cool. All right. So if you had to pick one or two impactful moments in your career to date, and you'd be willing to share them, what would they be?
impactful moments. Yeah, it's hard. There's been a lot. There's been a lot of impactful moments. The biggest one would be getting hired. That was the start of the journey for me. That's what kind of flipped that switch for me. It brought a whole different kind of fire to my heart once I got that phone call saying, hey, we'd love to have you as part of our department. My second impactful moment would be this injury, to be honest. It opened a different door for me, and it's taught me so much about the fire department. Things that, like we talked about earlier, that I've never known. I never knew behind the scenes how the factory runs.
Yeah.
You know, I knew how to drive the truck, put water on the red stuff, and help and put Band-Aids on and things like that. I never knew what allowed us to do that.
Well, first, I want to say you're very much simplifying the job that you did. So, but I understand the analogy you're making, but I think sometimes the community does that too. They simplify it and they think that's kind of what you guys do. But you guys are like, when you show up on scene, you're like an athlete, surgeon, technician, problem solving.
There's a lot there's definitely a lot that goes into it. And, you know, without having to specify all that stuff, I'm like trying to pay homage to the situation I'm in, and being an admin it has taught me a ton. It has been a huge impactful moment in my life. Not just the injury itself, it's the position I'm put in now, taking a completely, maybe one of the toughest things I've dealt with in my career and making a positive out of it. And being an admin has helped me change that. So I think that, 11 years ago and present have been the two. I have some good stories in between, but I don't know if you want them on the podcast.
If I can't preview them, maybe not. But I will say, so I appreciate, because obviously you and I are close. We talk a lot, and I've seen, you've done an incredible job when you're dealing with something like this, and working through it, and still, working towards recovery and coming back online, and that's the hope for everything. But to be out you've been off. I think you said it. You've been off for
since
a year
last
now, right?
April. Yeah.
And so that's impactful when you're going from shift work to that. All those other things that you talked about.
It's different.
It's a change in home life. It's a change in work life. You've handled it incredibly well, and you've been.
It's been tough, but
yeah, I'm aware, and
there's definitely some pros. Being home with my kids every day has helped a ton.
Yeah.
I'm not missing anything. And it gives me a different outlook on really what we're sacrificing. But it's been good. You've got to stay optimistic, especially in a position of, injury. Like, you have to be optimistic. You have been that optimism for me. My father as well. Everybody has, my wife, everyone's been optimistic about this. Awesome. And it's made it a little bit easier for me. But I am the computer. I'm itching. I'm itching to get out of there.
It's learning
get back on the line.
New sets of skills, stretching new parts of the brain.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you recognize the support of everybody, your family and stuff, and even mentioning and saying something to me and admin how I could, but a lot of that too is attributed to you. You are a person that you mirror all of those things back, and you invest, so much, and have since the day you got here. I remember the day that I got to finally call you and offer you the job after several discussions before. And I used to joke around about it. I used to tell the story all the time about, like, this guy was applying for jobs he's not even eligible for, just so that he could have an opportunity to talk to me and be like, keep it at the top of the list. So it's awesome. Very, very cool.
It's coming a long ways. Gosh, I want to talk about all the funny. I'm the guy, for those that don't know who I am, I'm the guy that wants to make you smile and laugh.
Oh yeah.
I've been told something, and it's been, this job, this career is too serious to be serious all the time. So that station life, I think, is one of the most important parts of our everyday tour, right?
Absolutely.
I've gotten some smacks on the wrist for maybe taking it too far, but I want my crew to smile. I want my crew to laugh. And there's memories out there that hopefully I've made for others others have made for me as well,
Yeah.
that I have had some of the hardest laughs I've ever had in my entire life, to where I'm crying. I can't catch my breath.
And I will say nothing malicious. It's all in,
No,
it's all
no,
in fun. Sometimes
none of that bad stuff.
all of us sometimes have gone a little too far in having fun.
Yeah,
I know that there's some places that have ended up in a bad place
no.
before because of some stuff, but we, I do tell you guys that this is the best job you could possibly do.
Yep.
And it should be fun, and it should be so much fun that sometimes we got to remind you it's work, because and I think you said it so well about having that refuge and having that station life to find that balance.
Yeah.
And I've always said that, we're a part of a city, very important, and we fall under all the same, city rules, regs, and all that stuff. And we have our own policies and procedures and things, but you, have had discussion many, many times with HR. You can't apply all of the typical office HR rules 100% the same way in a firehouse as you can in an office environment. And that doesn't give us a green card to just be irresponsible. But yes, we joke around. We're loud sometimes, obnoxious.
Might find a piece of food flying.
There might be a food fight once in a while, and things like that. And those are, that's a part of it's. Like you said, it's almost like family. You said
it's hard to explain it.
Yeah, you said the brotherhood before, but that doesn't just mean the men. We work with women, but it is all part of the brotherhood, and it's when you are to the extremes that I'll say we have to go as a department and as a career. But you guys as firefighters, obviously, I don't do that part of the job that much anymore, and I know you've been off of it for a little while. But the stuff that you guys do and running in the door and going to those hard calls and having traumatic incidents, seeing people on their worst days, there's got to be a balance of that to be able to go back to the firehouse and have a little bit of levity.
Right.
And, yeah, it makes a huge difference. And I think it helps with some of the challenges we have in the fire service today. I think some of the stifling of being able to outwardly express that, I think, makes it sometimes more difficult. I think people carry some of that trauma because they can't let it out. I've often said, we have a little bit of a twisted sense of humor. It's not because we're uncaring.
It's coping.
We're very caring. It's a coping mechanism. But what I might come back after a call and say to you, I would never say to somebody else because they wouldn't understand.
I've learned that with Alicia. Bringing it home. I talk about something and she goes, "How? What do you mean by that?" Yeah. I'm like, "Don't worry about it." It's better to. Like you said, the station life, having those laughs and having those outlets is very important. And we do it in a healthy way. Like you said, we're not pushing our envelopes. Yeah. We're having fun. And it's some of the best memories I've ever had are in the firehouse. The conversations around the dinner table. We can solve the world's problem at the dinner table. We all think we can.
Listen, I'm going to say there probably are a whole lot of problems that have been solved at the table. That's one of the most educational and entertaining areas that you could ever spend time at.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that.
And I will say and your dad probably has thought this or experienced this, but as impactful as we were talking about how you have to have that levity and how significant some calls are, how they impact us, how we deal with that. I've always been aware of that, but it never hit me harder than when my son got in the fire service. Mm-hmm. So your dad seeing the things that you're doing, my son, when he got in the fire service, did come right out of high school. So at 18 years old, he's Charlotte County Station 1. They run a crazy amount of calls, and they run a lot of significant trauma calls. And after not a very long period of time, 3-4 months in, like I'm here and he's coming home telling me about the calls he's running. I'm thinking, my gosh. And I said, I remember sitting with him at the table and I said, Sawyer, I just got to tell you this. You are seeing a whole lot of stuff that God never intended for an 18-year-old to see. Right. And you're not just seeing it once. You're seeing it over and over again. And I said, you got to be able to talk to somebody up. So coming home, even talking to me and telling me about those things, but talking to other people so you don't bottle it up inside. And also understanding that you can't become hardened to it because you got to keep compassion in your heart and everything else. Because there are some people that become hardened and then they're not as good at their job over a whole lifetime of being exposed to that it's almost like a defense mechanism. I think some people do that. So it's hard to find that balance and still be compassionate enough, leave yourself open enough, but not to allow it to eat you up. But yeah, it's tough.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Best firehouse prank that we can put on the podcast. You got one? Because I know you. All right, maybe not.
No, I don't.
No. All right.
Firehouse. Actually, I have a good one.
Okay.
It was done to me.
All right.
By none other than Michael Tackman and Eric Arlotta.
Oh gosh, now you've named names. Okay.
It's a good, healthy one. It's a very healthy one.
The good news is Cody can always cut it out.
I was stationed at Station 82 with them on A shift.
Okay.
And we had a lot of late nights. We would always run 3 deep on the rescue. There was 3 of us, 3 amigos. And I went to bed super tired. Little did I know that they had put a drip set, an IV drip set in the ceiling tile. So, and when they triggered it, it would release the water right into my head on my pillow. So I'm sleeping and I get woken up by water dripping on my face, and then a whole bag of saline just dumped on me. I think I've seen that repeated quite a few times. That's a good one I like.
So may or may not have heard, it could have been somewhere else, but the best way to really do that is at a slow drip, lower down in the bed, so that it doesn't wake somebody up until the whole bag is empty, and they wake up and they realize the bed's wet, and they don't know that you did anything to them, and then they're trying to
they're trying to cover it up.
I don't know that that's ever really happened, but
no.
So Anthony, if you could change one thing in the fire service, locally, system wide, whatever, like what's something that you would just reach out, if you could, what would it be? You think
if I could change, the fire service as a whole is changing. That's inevitable. We have no control over that. The biggest thing that affects that is the traditions. If I could, I would bring, and I've tried, we can try as much as we can, but there's only so much we can do. And holding those traditions close. Like I said before, I grew up spending a ton of time outside of work with my second family, mm-hmm. right? My work family were mixed with my actual family. We spent weekends together, boat trips, vacations, you name it, we did a lot together. In today's fire service, it seems that that's slowing down. There's a lot of tradition that's being lost. And I don't know if that's a new era type of deal, if new generations coming into the fire service, but I would try my absolute darndest to get people involved outside of work. I try it. I won't give up. I mean, all the extracurricular stuff we've talked about.
Yeah.
This department probably gets annoyed with the amount of emails I send out, but it's not just for help. It's to be out there. I want my kids to know your kids. I want Absolutely. My wife to know your wife. I want to know your kids. And it's just spending time outside the fire service. This isn't work for me. Coming here with a uniform on is not work. I might get paid for it, but I would do this for free. We've all done that for free at one point in time.
Listen, don't anybody in the community get an idea for that.
Don't take that the wrong way.
Because not everybody would. It'd be very hard to have the level
but
of service we have.
But
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
you got to have pride in this job. You want to be a part of it, you have to have the pride. And that starts with spending more time with each other outside of the lines of work, right? I mean, there's only so much we can do on the job, but outside of here is when it means the most. So I think that would be the one thing that I would try to change and manipulate into a positive. Mm-hmm. And I'll keep trying.
I think there's, and this isn't an absolute, but I will say, I think there's a little bit of a kinship and some similarities in people that got into this service and started as a volunteer.
Right.
And then moved on to get a paid career service job, because I always said the same thing. Like, I loved this job so much I would do it free. And because I did do it for free for a while,
right.
Having the livelihood, the ability to do something that we love and actually be able to support our family with it's absolutely amazing. But I think because of the time a lot of us spent as volunteers, that we genuinely value that. And I do think too that there's a little bit of a change, and I've seen it, and it's generational. As you get these subtle differences. I still think that there's groups of the younger people entering the fire service that hang out away from work, but it's more so away from work. I have noticed when I got to the fire service, I don't remember for years taking a vacation. Right. I was working 2 jobs and raised family and stuff like that, and we just didn't really take vacations. Like it was a grind all the time. And and I think a lot of it's because of the availability of just hop on the internet and go and look for something, and the advent of VRBO and be able to, it's not a big deal really anymore to go hop on a plane and right. Yeah. You didn't have to do a triptych from AAA and try and figure out where you're going. So the availability of travel and the availability to look at other places and see, oh, I can go do that. With the advent of the internet and some of these other things have, I think, changed some of that to where a lot of and it's cool to see. It's cool to see some of these younger people going, and they're going to a trip to Europe and things I would have never even in my wildest dreams thought of to do, in my mid to late 20s, that they're doing that. But I understand what you're saying too. And I tell all of our guys when they come on, kind of that's the expectation is the more you bring your family here to do things, even on duty, bring them in the evenings if they want to stop by for dinner or weekends, do something together. The more your family's here when we have those special events, all those things you were talking about, the pumpkin festival at Halloween, the Poinsettia Parade, all these other things, they look forward to seeing that because they get to see the people that they're seeing all the time. The kids are growing up together and doing those things. Then it becomes easier. And when you don't have them around all the time, there's always something else that comes up, or you get obligated to something, and so then it's more difficult to get your whole family's mindset or your wife to commit to come and do something like this. So it is I think that's something people say that tradition's been lost. I think it's just been I think it's always been a little bit of a battle, and it kind of waxes and wanes, I think, through time. But for sure, it's that's one of the things I think we try and continue to focus on. We do okay, but I always want to do better.
We can always do better. Yeah. It'll never be good enough, right?
I always felt like if the lieutenant at the station is sitting down saying, "Hey, the Poinsettia Parade's this Saturday, we're all going," right? And just kind of awkward silence.
That's how I was brought into this.
I was going to say, most everybody be like, "Yes, sir, I'm going," and then they go and have a good time. Or you might get one person be like, "I have a wedding to go to. I'll be out of town." Okay, you're cool. You're good.
Right.
I think maybe sometimes those expectations or conversations are happening, or it creeps up, faster, and they don't realize going off shift in the morning, like, oh, that's 2 days from now, and I forgot to say anything to the guys or something. So,
we were built on tradition. This whole service,
for sure. You were talking earlier too. For those, we use the term brotherhood a lot, and the brotherhood is the concept of how close we are together. There's no exclusion of sisters, so if there's any,
we're all included.
We're not being gender specific.
No, sir.
Although we do have a large majority of males in the service, and I think that's been over time. We have some amazing females in the department, and actually all of our females in the department are amazing at different levels of the organization and the things that they do. So we're thankful for that, and we'll bring more on. We can't seem to get enough to apply, although out of our cadet program, we're graduating our first cadet program beginning of next month. And we have several young ladies in that program that are going on to fire school. And they're local. So hopefully maybe they'll come back and do something, which is cool.
Yeah.
How about fire EMS leader, mentor, either somebody that's, nationally known, worldwide known, historical, local, whatever, that kind of speaks to you or that has had an impact on you?
One of the biggest mentors, there's two of them. And, it's almost like an obvious answer. I'm going to go with my dad. He's been a massive mentor to me. Yourself, Chief Titus, and Chief Ingalls. I could name off a couple more. I have Chief Kelch. All these guys all of you have been the bread and butter to why I'm doing this. My kids are my purpose, but without you guys, I wouldn't be who I am today. You guys have given me the olive branch and let me completely blossom into who I am today. Hopefully I'm only growing, but you guys are incredible mentors. I look up to every single one of you. It started with Pops, and it's kind of led onto you guys as I do this on my own, right? I'm paving my own path, and you guys have been incredible. I don't know where or who I'd be without you guys, so big thank you to you guys.
I know your dad, so that's a huge compliment, as it should be to him, and it's a huge compliment to me and to us that you even put us in that class category, because your dad, one, as a father, great guy, and obviously fire service, royalty, local here, retired at the level that he did and did a great job. So that's cool, and thank you. I appreciate it. And the reward for honestly, the reward for me is to watch all you guys as you come on. And of course, I had mentors that brought me in and gave me an opportunity too, where, I was a dumb kid and had nothing going on. My life was going nowhere. And Chief Lane, I just happened to run into him, and he probably saved my life. And so, like, we've all had that impact, which is really, really cool. And it's nice to be able to provide that opportunity for other people and be a part of that.
Yeah, and I want to touch, like, it took me a second to think, right? I didn't have just one. I have more. That just shows you how close and incredible this department has been or is.
Yeah.
It's not just one person that I've looked at my entire career. I have had different people at every level that have been a brick for my building, right? It's incredible, and I'm blessed to have had these relationships and keep building them. But yeah, I just want to say thank you.
Cool. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. All right. How about some rapid fire? Quick questions. You ready?
Shoot.
Solid stream or fog stream?
Solid.
Brush fire, structure fire?
Structure.
ALS or BLS?
ALS.
You would better answer ALS.
Yeah, I have to.
Paramedic Sardina. No. Cardiac or respiratory?
Cardiac.
Engine or truck?
Truck.
TAC crew or rapid intervention?
TAC.
Okay. I like it. Tech rescue or fire?
Fire.
All right. So I know this about you. You're a pretty good chef. What's your favorite firehouse meal? So favorite firehouse meal, period, whether you make it or not. What's your favorite firehouse meal? Or if somebody else made it, you can say it. But
Cutlets.
okay. How do you
Chicken cutlets.
that you make?
Yeah.
How do you make it?
Oh, I put an absurd amount of lemon zest in my breadcrumbs.
Oh.
Chief Ingalls can attest to it. That's his favorite meal as well. Like, I made them for him, and that's been the meal. It's a ton of lemon zest, parsley, fresh garlic. It's all in the breadcrumbs, full of cheese. Really, really good meal. And then, there's so many meals that I've cooked. Cuban meals are another top for me. I'm always being asked to cook some Cuban dishes. But yeah, I'd have to go with cutlets.
I haven't had your cutlets. I've had some of the Cuban
You've had some
dishes
Cuban
you made.
food, yeah.
And I also had, I want to say it's the first time I ever had it. It's a Chinese dish you make.
Oh, pad thai.
Oh my God. Dude, your pad thai is amazing.
I remember you
It's
had that.
so good. I went home, couldn't stop talking about it. My wife's like, it's pad thai. What's the big deal? I'm like, I never had it before. She goes, yeah, it's good. I'm like, yeah, but this is like great. And
That was
I've
Victor
ordered it.
Cleveland's favorite meal that I ever made him.
Was it?
Yep. He would ask me, him and Chief Inlow, those are the two that would ask me to make that all the time for them, was the pad thai.
Shout out, God bless to Victor Cleveland.
Yes, sir.
So thinking about you. That's cool. So I've ordered that out at restaurants, other places we've gone. It's never been as good. I actually stopped ordering it because it's never been as good as what you made. And I think I had it by accident because I think I was, you know this, but most people don't. So we're in City Hall now, but when we were in the regular fire station admin, I always tried to come in through the back and leave through the back so that I had an opportunity to interact with you guys. And I think you were making that night. And you're like, Chief, you want to stay for dinner?
Yeah, I
I
always
was like,
tried
I got to go. And you're like, you got to try this. And
I'd force a few meals on you,
You
too.
did.
I'd tell you to sit down.
Oh, no, you did. You did. I think that might have been one.
Tell Miss Titus that you'll be home a couple minutes late.
You did. It was so good. Okay. Favorite tool?
Hellion.
Nice. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to share? I think we left out. Want to cover?
I think we had a pretty good chunk. You know who I am. This whole department knows who Anthony is. The funny guy, but the switch is flipped on scene. This is the most incredible career that I think anyone could pick. I'm blessed to be here.
We are blessed to have you, and I love that you said everybody knows you, and now the community knows you a little bit better, which is a part of this, and they know a little bit more about our department. So thank you for sharing all that. I'm going to say assignment's complete. We're returning to the station. That's it for today's episode of From Boots to Brass, all about the job. A big thank you to you for being here, Anthony Sardina, firefighter paramedic, and to all of you for tuning in. If you like today's chat, be sure to follow Northport Podcast Network. Pass it along to somebody who would enjoy listening behind the scenes of the fire service. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.